When do you think the law can get involved? Here, think about this. I'll set the scene for you. It's a Friday night. You're thinking about ordering pizza. You don't know which spot you're going to get it from, but serendipity strikes and you got a coupon in the mail. You're like, oh, wow, pizza guys. I never go there. I didn't even really know people went there. That's probably why I got a coupon. They're doing grassroots marketing because no one's going to go there. So they attack my mailbox with this piece of paper, an outdated medium, if you ask me. What are we going to start faxing things? I'm getting away from the point. You get this coupon on a Friday and you think, maybe I'll get some pizza today. And it's an internal struggle for you because you are committed to your New Year's resolution, right? We're still about 3 weeks into the new year, but you got this and you think, well, this must be fate. You'd be wrong not to act on it. Sometimes, right, you ever catch someone's eye in a grocery store? And you're like, wow, there was something there. I should go talk to that person. Why was there so much familiarity in that little glance that I stole? Maybe I should go over there and talk to that person. Maybe this is that inflection point in my life. Maybe this is the story I'll tell my kids growing up and talk about how I met their mother in the spaghetti aisle. And they'll be like, they have a whole aisle for spaghetti. And I'm like, yes, there's much for you to learn, young one. But there's moments like that, right? Where you can either seize the day or you can let it pass you. Carpe diem and whatnot. Something like that. So what do? Right? It's a real internal conflict, struggle, like I said, but you decide to act on it, right? You're like, I'm going to be the narrator, the author, the writer, and director of my own story, and I'm going to get pizza from pizza guys. You want to show some autonomy over your own life. Remember, you have free will, and yes, you get pizza to be delivered. Except you're like, I don't want to, let me at least do some of the work on my own end, right? Let me pedal the the bike a little bit and not just have them drive it for me, right? If delivering pizza or getting pizza, ordering pizza, is like riding a tandem bike, you don't want to just sit in the back and just, have your legs out, splayed outward and just not doing anything. So you're like, okay, I'll do my part. I'll pedal a little bit. I'll go to the store to actually get the pizza. So you go there, you walk up and you're feeling pretty confident because you're like, well, this is nice. I get to do a fun thing on a Friday night. And I have this coupon, which means I'm getting this experience at a discount. Same experience, lower price. I'm pretty sure that's what Walmart tried to run on, and then you would go to one and you realize, oh, it doesn't even look like they should be running. Who's keeping the lights on over here? I like Walmart. It's cool. I don't know why it gets a bad rap. I think it's because they put the store in a giant warehouse, but then Costco did that and we all respect them. I think it's because of a barrier of entry, right? Like Costco, it feels like, oh, I got a membership. I got this little plastic card. You have to respect me when I walk in. Only a certain group of people can be here because we paid a little bit of money and we did some paperwork. But Walmart, it's too easily accessible. There's not enough exclusivity, and that's why it gets that bad rap, right? You can put anything you want into a warehouse, but as long as you charge people to get into the warehouse, that is how you make things more expensive and more liked by the public. But you show up to this pizza place and you're like, here is my coupon for that one topping medium pizza. I believe I wanted mushrooms on it. And they're like, yeah, we know. We could tell when you walked in. Okay, don't know what that means, but one pizza, please, at a few dollars off. And then what if they just say no? What do you get to the pizza place? You're like, here's my coupon. And the pizza place is like, yeah, no. And you could be like, oh, is it expired? My bad, I didn't even see that. Maybe I don't check my mail often enough. I didn't realize that this expired a few months ago. But then you double check the expiration date, and you're like, wait, no, this is still good for another couple weeks. Here you go. And then again, they say no. And you're like, okay, so what's the deal here? Why aren't you letting me use this coupon? They're like, because we just don't want to. And that's my question. Can the law get involved there? Because at that point, what do? If you go to a pizza place and they just deny your use of a coupon, what are you going to do? You going to call the police? Well, the police is going to show up and they're like, all right, what's going on here? I'm trying to use a coupon. It is not expired and they just won't let me. And they're like, wait, really? Is that true? Pizza place? They're like, I don't know what that guy's talking about. What if they do that? Didn't they gaslight you? They're like, no, I don't know. Yeah, no, give me the coupon. I didn't even... Are you trying to use a coupon? I thought you just stepped out to make a call. I didn't realize you were getting the police. And yeah, no, we take coupons. See, it's up there on the board. It's actually a special we're running. And you're like, oh my God, what the hell? How did I not see that? But then the police, they would leave and they'd be like, all right, I think everything's sorted here. I'm going to take off. And they get out, you turn around, you're like, all right, sorry about that. Maybe it was on me, probably, right? I've been working with my therapist to take a little more accountability. Maybe I didn't realize it was a communication error on my end. Here's a coupon, 1 mushroom pizza, please. And they're like, no. What do you do then? You can't call the police again. They'll be like, hey, easy, pal. This isn't some hotline you can just hit whenever you want for some advice. This is a real thing. We're the police, okay? Don't call us. Lose our number. It's going to be hard because you probably know what it is, but try to forget it, okay? You're not using this the right way. This is not if you're lonely. This is if you need help. And you're like, no, but I do need help. They won't let me use my coupon. But can a pizza place do that? Just be like, nah, we're good. We don't want to do that. Because what are you going to do? You're going to write a bad review? Ooh. They probably get a bunch of those. It's a pizza place. It's a pizza guys. They're probably like, yeah, I don't really care. What, you think the chain of command management's going to be like, what's happening at that one location? I'm going to go talk to them. And then they can just be like, oh yeah, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, I'll try to be better. And they could be real sickos, right? Like I said, they could gaslight you in front of the police and be like, no, we didn't say that. And they could do that forever. I don't know why they would do this, but they could just choose to do some psychological warfare and just mess with you. They could just make it to where they make you feel like you're crazy. Because then you could go do your own, right, grassroots marketing, guerrilla warfare, and go on foot and tell all your friends, don't go to that pizza place. They didn't let me use my coupon. They were really mean about it. And then they could, inquisitive friends could go to this pizza place and be like, hey, can we use a coupon? My friend the other day had some problem. And then the pizza place could be like, oh yeah, for sure. Like we encourage that even. Did you find it in the local newspaper? Yeah, bring it here. Actually, you know what? On the way out, here's another coupon. Paying a good deed for it, huh? What if they just chose to gas like that one person in particular? Because then your friend would go back and you're like, you had problems with that pizza place? You're like, yeah, fuck them. Did you go over there? No, I didn't. Is that cheese on your upper lip? No, I was eating goldfish the other day. No, they said it's made with real cheese, but I don't believe it. Also, that was melted cheese, not cracker cheese or whatever goldfish are made out of. You went to that pizza place. And I know that because we live in a small town. There's not a pizza place within 70 miles of this place. Only way you would have hot mutts on your upper lip is if you went to a local pizza place. Hence, you did it. All right, I did it. But I just don't get what you're so up in arms about. They were cool to me. They even gave me another coupon. Give me that. What the fuck is this? Wait, this is the same exact coupon I had. In fact, this is the one I gave them. I threw it away on the way out because I was like, oh, maybe it's just null and void. I can't use it anymore. Those fuckers gave this to you? All right, well, let's not call them mean names. Hey, who are you friends with, bud? But I do wonder, can the law get involved? Because what are you fighting over, right? It's like maybe, at the most, like $6 or something. Like, when is a crime not big enough to get the law involved, but also not small enough for you to ignore? Like, let's say it's a, Round Table. They have, pretty pricey pizzas for some reason. Let's say it's, $24 to $30, right? $6 off is a 20 to 25% discount. That would probably annoy you a little bit for it to get rejected, especially because, remember, you were trying to stay true to your New Year's resolution. And now you show up and they're denying you of that right? To cheat? Maybe they were doing a good thing, right? Maybe they reject, you start rationalizing in your head. No. Maybe they reject coupons in January because they want us to uphold our New Year's resolutions. That must be it. I'm not crazy. My friends will know. They'll know. But I think that is funny. Because, you can't get the law involved, right? For something so petty. But then also you wouldn't be able to sleep at night because you're like, those fuckers, they got away with it. Little do they know, I don't even like them. It's because I got it at a discount. I don't even think you're hot, okay? Oh, hot and ready. I know that's Little Caesars, but oh, hot and ready. Woo. I don't even think you're hot. So yeah, when can the law get involved, huh? Speaking of the law getting involved, I told you. Yeah, they banned TikTok, but they brought it back almost immediately. It wasn't even 24 hours. I think it was like 15 hours or something, if that. And that's what they do. It's the classic, that's the title of the last episode, right? I was like, it reminds you of that friend that's always flaking on you. It's the boy who cried wolf. We're going to ban it. We're going to ban. Oh, yeah, are you? Go ahead. No, actually, I invite you to ban it. Go ahead. I want to see what it looks like. And they did show us for a little bit of time. But then they were like, no, okay, here it is again. We didn't actually ever ban it, if we're being honest. That little pop-up, that's the same pop-up we use when it's going through like a patch update and we need to have some downtime. If you look up the definition of banning something, we didn't even really ban it. So you can't get that. Can't get us on semantics there, bud. But no, they, like I predicted, because I'm right about everything, they didn't take it away. Well, they did, but they brought it back. And this, again, it reminds you of your friend, right? They're like, I'm going to do this. You're like, no, you're not. Don't stop. It's okay. I'll take that. It's okay to lie to me, but don't lie to yourself anymore. Okay? It's negative self-talk, really. You keep setting yourself up, right? Keep being like, I'm going to do this, and you never hit it. That's got to hurt. Your self-esteem must be at an all-time low. But they're like, no, no, no. No, I promise. I'm going to do it. This year's different. Oh, really? Like last year? No, no, yeah. This year I'm going to work out. That's the same exact thing you said last year. But yeah, okay. Sure. But last year you got to understand that I thought dry January meant you can't get any moisture on yourself. That's why I didn't want to break a sweat. Okay? It's different. I know what it means now. I'm going to do it. We're halfway through January. Have you done it yet? No, but there's no time like the present. I just might do it today. Are you gonna though? I mean, we'll see. Big things coming, right? Have you seen my Instagram story? I've been saying that. Big things coming. So it might happen. I'm like, see, you're using that soft language. It might happen. We'll see. Are you gonna do it? Yeah, man, for sure. Just wait. For what? Am I supposed to do the waiting or you? Because if you're waiting on me, then go ahead. I've given you permission. But they did it. They took it away. And then they even went back on it. Even the government fucking sucks at New Year's resolutions. Isn't that crazy? They stayed pretty steady. They had us going for a second. We're like, oh, they might do it. And they did. And they were like, nah, I'm just kidding. They went, right? We were like, oh, they're going to get super big and jacked like David Dobrik. But instead, they went to Party City and bought one of those like muscle suits that SpongeBob wore in that one episode, right? Except he just had the arms. But it's back. And we're back. And we get to use it now, forever. And it's so great. I know that there's some people that were like, please free me from this, right? It was like this ban was going to be like a not self-inflicted, but like a forced intervention. They like know they have a problem, just flipping through all the TikToks, right? But they're like, no, this will be good. This will be good. Just cold turkey. They'll deny me access. Then I won't need to do it. I saw someone on Twitter. They were like, they're in some European country or something. They were like, yo, let me know. Pay me. I'll screen record my TikTok feed for an hour and I will send it to you for a fair price. And then the ban got undone and she quote tweeted herself and she was like, my small business. What the fuck? So yeah, we're back. We're better than ever. And I called it. I always do. I know everything that's going to happen. I've said this many a time now. You just need to listen to podcasts. If you were just listening to this, you would be steered correct. But no, you went and got other ideas from other places. How dare you? Emotionally abusive partner. Hey, where are you getting other ideas from, huh? Listen to me. Only I should be filling your head with ideas. And you'll know that they're the right ideas because they're from me. And I have your best interest in mind, right? And you know that because it's what I've told you to believe. Something I also believe in is reverence for socks. You ever think about this? Sometimes you'll go on a walk or a run. I haven't gone on a run in a while. But sometimes I'll go on a walk. And you come back in, and I'll take my socks off because I'm like, oh, they're probably dirty now. It's just probably got a little sweaty, so let's take these socks off. And a lot of time, right, if you ever grew up being active, but, if you ever grew up playing sports, right, a great thing to do after a game is, just rip your socks off, let the dogs run around the yard, you know? And sometimes when you take those socks off, because they are just a little bit sweaty, they'll turn inside out, right? When you take it off, they'll like flip into each other, flip into itself. And then you can see, right? Sometimes they'll have holes in it because you use the sock. It's got a decent amount of wear and tear. And at that time, nothing really you can do with it, right? You got to retire it. But something I noticed, right? I went on a walk this week, took off my socks. I noticed one of them had a hole in it. I was like, oh no, I'm going to need to throw that away. But before I throw it away, I still turned it right side in. What do you call it? I like made it uninsided out. I made it outsided in. I made it outside in, which isn't even correct. Inside out, outside in. The opposite of inside out would be inside in, right? And then the ins would cancel and it would just be side. So the opposite of inside out is just side. Due to the transitive property? The reflexive property? Some bullshit proof you learned in 8th grade? Oh, sorry, I was in advanced math. It was probably 7th grade for you. Or fuck, shit. The other way, 9th grade for you. Shit. Again, I was only in advanced math, not advanced English. Period. But I know that's right? Because I know where to put my periods. Anyways, when I turned this sock, the right side, I put the inside back in, I understood that I had to do that before I threw it away. And because it just felt right. It would feel wrong, right? My sock has served me through this time. It went through all these trials and tribulations with me, and it's spent. It now has a hole. It's run out of time. And so I thought it was only respectful to give it a proper burial, I suppose. And, I could have thrown it away in my kitchen area, but instead I still went to my bathroom to put it in the trash can because I felt like that was more respectful. It'd be wrong, right? Let's say I have spaghetti this week. If I throw away a little bit of spaghetti in the trash can, oh, now it's on the sock? Those are two worlds that should never intermingle, right? They're star-crossed lovers. It's a forbidden love, but I think we should keep it forbidden. I don't think we should mix those two. Socks and spaghetti sauce? Call that spaghetti socks. Trademark that. Start selling it. Knees weak, arms are heavy. Vomit on her sweater already. Mom spaghetti. Spaghetti socks. There's something there. We'll have Eminem do the marketing campaign for my spaghetti socks. I'm getting away from the point. I still felt when I saw this sweaty inside out sock, I was like, I have to turn it back inside in and make sure it is thrown away in a bathroom. Because I felt like that was the correct burial process for it. I feel like if you leave it inside out, you throw it away in the kitchen, oh my God, what are you doing? That seems really like messy and it feels very unsanitary and just, it feels like gore of the highest degree. To do something like that, there's a severe lack of decorum that feels aggressive on one's ethics. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It feels like you're kind of a piece of shit if you don't give it a proper burial. And I noticed myself that I have a reverence and a respect for things like a sock, a used sock. And that's one of the little fun things in life, one of the few nice things in life, is a sock with a hole in it. Because it shows that life has been lived enough that there was like some natural wear and tear. And that you use that sock to its full capability. You could probably run it into the ground a little bit more, but getting a hole in a sock means that you lived, and I think that's very nice. Either that, or it just means you have cheap socks, and you should probably find a new sock company to go with. But I like to think of the first idea, right? It means you've lived life. And that's why the sock has a hole in it, because it couldn't keep up with you, No. It was a temporary relationship. You got its full use out of each other, and then you went your separate ways. I think that's what's so beautiful about a used sock is it shows that you went the full extent. I think some relationships are tragic, right? The right place, wrong time trope. I don't even know if that's true or not, if that exists, but if we go along with that theory, right? Right place, wrong time. The idea is these relationships are cut short because it's like, yes, we're right for each other, but this isn't the time in our life. We each have to do separate things, so we're gonna have to cut this off short. What a fully used sock does is it shows that the relationship was explored to its full extent and you guys just reached your natural end. There is no other option here than to split ways, and I think that's really nice. And so maybe that's why I feel that I need to pay a hold sock with so much respect, because it's like, yeah, we had a good thing going. We had a relationship that worked. You and I lived together, and we really had no problems. There was love afoot. It was my foot. And that's why I feel like you need to have some respect, because you guys lived life with each other. And speaking of living life, I saw an article this week. I didn't read the whole article. I read the. Come on. Anytime I say. I say. Anytime what's his name? Leghorn Foghorn. Is that his name? Right? I say, boy. Don't mess with my son. He has like a little chicken son, right? What's his name? Does he have a son? That's the whole thing, right? He's like protecting his son in the cartoon. I don't remember. But speaking of living life, I read an article. And anytime I say I read an article, it means I read the heading and maybe the first paragraph. And then I scroll down a little bit and it's like, oh, you got to pay to see that. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I do. Or I could just Google the title of this article and it'll be free somewhere else, right? And fucking like Daily Mail or like People's Magazine. And then I can just read your shit. So fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, what are you going to do? Call the police? Nothing you can do. It's too small of a crime. Go buy a pizza. It might make you feel better. But I read this article, and I don't think he wrote it, but he was interviewed, and it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he said that there are 4 words that he lives by, right? He's getting up there in age, right? His hourglass is a beach. A lot of sand in that thing, right? The man's seen a lot of minutes. For some reason, his watch has 13 hours. It's just that's how much time he's seen in his day. And he said that there are 4 words that he uses to live by, and they are stay active, be useful. And I think that's very important. Sometimes, right, we just become kind of just on default. We just go through the motions, and it's not very stimulating. And that's why, like, puzzles are good, because they keep your mind going. But also sometimes you can float around and not feel like you have any purpose in life because you're not useful to anyone. And I think that's probably right. One of the arguments with kids, it's doing something bigger than yourself to care for this person. But you also, I think that's why Community is important, the TV show and the actual thing, because it makes you feel like you have a place in it all. Because I think that's what we're always trying to find is like, oh, what's my purpose? And while that's like a big question, right, there's probably a big purpose you're trying to find, I think it's achieved through smaller purposes. And so by joining communities, it's helpful to help you achieve your ultimate purpose, which maybe you'll find or maybe you'll never find. But again, it's about the journey, not the destination. It's probably not even a good thing, probably, to find your ultimate purpose, but it's the pursuit of finding that I think is ultimately fulfilling, right? And so there's things you have to do in life. And I did one of those things this week. I went to Davis to see my friend Jess perform in a musical. Is it a musical or a play? I don't know what it's called, but we'll say it's a musical because it was put on by the Davis Musical Theater Company. And it was a rendition, right? It was the 42nd Street. That's the name of it, the play, the musical. And it's really great because you don't even have to see the first 41 streets to understand this one, which I thought was really nice. And I learned a lot about myself through this play. Because, again, I haven't seen a play or a musical in just about 3 years. Last time I actually saw something was The Book of Mormon on Broadway back in, I believe it was February 2023. So maybe it's been 2 years. My bad. Wait, this guy said he was in advanced math? All right, easy, easy. But it's been quite some time since I've seen a musical, and it was good to get back out there, right? It's nice to be around a bunch of people that all are enjoying one thing. Because I feel like with movies, right, all these like big budget blockbuster bullshits are very susceptible to criticism because people are like, oh, you had millions of dollars and it looks like this. It probably looks amazing, but they're like, it doesn't look like $114 million worth of amazing. So fuck you. But a musical is so nice because people understand. I feel like everyone at a musical feels like they're rooting for the musical. Whereas like when you're at a movie, it feels like you're sitting among critics. It's a bunch of people looking at a screen being like, I don't know. I'm not sold on this. It's like you are sold on it. You bought the ticket, motherfucker. What do you mean? But a musical feels nice because it feels like everyone is truly rooting for everything that is happening on that stage. And it did teach me a little bit about myself because I realized, oh, I am cooked. I am fully cooked. I know TikTok was banned for less than a day. And I don't think that was enough because there's 2 acts, right? And an intermission in the middle, which is just a theater, a musical theater kid way of saying halftime. Jocks and theater kids, they have a lot in common. They just use different words so we don't think they're similar. Yeah, everyone take a break for intermission. And then you go to a basketball game. They're like, yeah, all right, we're at halftime. Go piss yourself. And that's what I did at this musical. I used the intermission, the 15-minute intermission, to go to the bathroom, get another drink, and go back to my seat and relax for a couple minutes. And I needed it, right? I needed to pull out my phone because I have to admit, during that first act, I was like, oh man, it's not that long, right? It's just around an hour maybe. But even about maybe 40 minutes in, 70% of the way through, I was like, oh, I'm getting a sudden urge to check my phone. And I would never. I don't check my phone during performances, whether that be a movie or a live performance. I will never check my phone. But I still had the itch. Just because you have the temptation doesn't mean you have to act on it. But I'll admit, I had the temptation. I like kind of scratched at my pocket a little bit. I was like, you're still there, right? I'll get to you. No, we'll see each other soon enough. Don't worry. But I was like, oh, that's not good. I shouldn't have this internal clock that's like, reach for it. What? Reach for the phone. My phone is like whispering at me like the Green Goblin mask, right? Come on. Come on. Turn me on. Check some bullshit notification that's not going to change your life. I do. I really want to. I promise I do. It's not for a lack of wanting. Hey, I'm right there with you, okay? I'm just trying to be respectful. But it was great to get out there, and that's what I think you have to do. You have to go to these things, right? It was made easy because I knew someone in the musical, so it had that aspect to it. But I think it's like you have to go to these things and like experience life. Because something I've learned is now being, he reluctantly says, an adult for a few years, right? Wait, don't you become an adult at 18? Well, all right. Add in the pandemic and the fact that being an adult only starts after college, and I've only been an adult for maybe 3 months. But you have to go to these things because life will just like pass you by. You have to like actively participate in life, or else it'll just keep going and you'll be lost. And so that's why it was really enjoyable to go to this, right? Not only was it a great performance, but it was also a reminder that, yeah, it's nice to have community, right? I didn't know basically anyone in there except Jess, but it was still nice to be among so many people that were positively looking upon something, right? Because if you don't do that, you're like a worse version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? You'll essentially, if you don't participate in life, stay active and be useful, you'll terminate yourself. I didn't read the article, but if they put that in there, that's pretty good. It's not. Actually, if you think about it, if I said it here, it's probably not that great. And they shouldn't publish something that says that. But so my call to you is to get out there, experience life, because if you don't, it's just going to keep going. And you're going to still be where you are. So this isn't me telling you to do this for life's sake. Life will go on. I'm saying this for you. Become an active part in it, or else you won't be a part of it, essentially. And through my 26 years now of being a human, my review is it's better spent with others, this life thing. So put yourself around others. And make sure you say the right things. Because I'm still not. I did see Jess, right, on January 17th. I said Happy New Year to her. That, it's, I told you I'm being clean. I'm holding myself accountable. I'm presenting all my flaws to you, bearing all. All right, maybe not all. But I'm righting the wrongs. So I have to admit, right? The first step is admitting you have a problem. I said Happy New Year to someone on January 17th. That's where, talk about an expired coupon. You can't use that one past that date, okay? And I did. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The comments on last episode, I still need to respond to them, but I've read them. Thank you so much. Thank you for the likes on the last episode. It means so much. And I promise, you know what? Let's just put it on camera. This will be the last time I say it this year. But Happy New Year. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I will talk to you next week. Okay? Bye.